Nania, I got you early Christmas present. It is Browning AB3, chamber 243. Perfect for you. Okay, this is unboxing of the Browning AB3. And this is what it looks like. I've already seen it at the FFL. But this rifle comes with a scope already mounted. So this will be the first rifle that I won't be mounting my own scope, but I will tighten everything up to make sure that it's not loose, because sometimes you could go to range and just shoot a lot and later find out it's not the rifle, it's actually the scope mount that wasn't tightened properly. So I'm gonna make sure it's nice and tight. And let's see what else it's got. It's got manuals. Actually, that's for the scope. And we got the manual for the Browning. And here in this corner, we have a bolt. Wow. Okay. Actually, the bolt looks very nice and heavy. That's how it feels going in. Obviously, it's empty. Push that button. It's just kind of rough. Is it me or the rifle? Yeah, it was me. I actually had to read the manual, but that's the first time me ever reading a manual, but that's first time for everything. But apparently when you get the first brand new rifle from Browning, or at least, this rifle, is that the firing pin on the bolt is down all the way here. And you gotta push it up to the notch on the top. And it's really hard with your hand. I mean, it's impossible with your hand. So I end up getting a piece of plier and carefully grabbing and pushing it up to that notch there. So once that firing pin is on that notch on the top, it didn't have any problem fitting. So it goes in like this. And just like that. So it's pretty much easy. The action is actually pretty smooth. Just like most of the Browning rifles, this rifle balances really well, and it's quite light rifle, and it really feels good in my hand. Now this rifle, according to Browning, weighs 6 pounds and 11 ounces, and this came with a scope. So I want to measure with the scope on and see how much it weighs. So it weighs 7 pounds and 11 ounces. So it's still very light rifle, and this would be really nice to carry into the woods. Now overall length on this rifle is 42 inches long, and the barrel is free floating, and it's 22 inch long barrel, and it's got the crowning to help the accuracy. And as I mentioned before, the bolt is really nice, heavy duty bolt, and the action is really smooth. I've seen some reviews where people are complaining that the bolt action on the AB3 was kind of rough, but it's actually quite smooth. So I'm pretty happy about that as well. Now, and the bolt is, and the bolt has 60-degree throw on it, so it's got plenty of clearance for the scope, and you can work your action pretty quick. And if you see the safety here, as you've seen, it's empty. It's got 2-stage safety. So if you have it on fire, you could obviously fire the rifle. But if you have it in the safety, you can't work the bolt. But they have this little button here where if you push that button, you could open your chamber and you can unload your ammunition. So that's a nice bonus on that. And right there is the button for releasing your bolt. So that's to take the bolt out all the way. So trigger wise, I'm not too crazy about it. It's all plastic. This reminds me of my Gamma air rifle, and it's got that cheap logo on it as well, but honestly for the price that I pay, I'm not complaining. Now let's see the trigger. Well, we gotta put on fire first. Okay, it's got a very small drag, but breaks pretty clean. But it feels, well, this is like 3.5 pounds, but it feels more like 4.5, maybe close to 5 pounds. So I went ahead and bought a trigger spring for it from Combo. And I've seen some reviews on this spring here. And by installing this trigger spring, it's gonna bring down the trigger pull down to about 2.5 pounds. And that's gonna be really sweet. So even the trigger looks cheap and ugly, if I have really nice, clean braking 2.5 pound trigger pull, I wouldn't mind having this kind of trigger. And also, this magazine right here sticks out a little bit. And in most Browning rifles, you don't see anything sticking out. But I don't mind this. The reason being is that by this sticking out just a little bit, it's gonna give me extra rounds. And this thing comes off really easy. So this magazine alone is supposed to hold 5 rounds. So let's try that now. 1, just like every other Browning, this thing fits really easy. 4, 5. So that was no problem. That was really easy. So this holds 5 rounds. So being able to carry 5 rounds in magazine is definitely a bonus. That way I don't have to carry anything extra in my pocket or on the extra holder. And this comes with black stock. Stock itself feels pretty cheap, but it looks okay. And they have rough texture here, so this will help you grab it. It's not like my Weatherby, but it's half decent. And this also comes with swing swivel studs. And this also have a palm swell, just like my Weatherby. It feels pretty good, so it works. And actually, this has one of the best recoil pad I've seen. This is really soft. Not that I need it for 243, but heck, that's a good bonus for me. All right, now this comes with Buckmaster BDC scope. And I've looked through it. It actually looks very clear. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now, one of the reasons why I bought this rifle, or why I had an excuse to buy this rifle, is that I actually have a beautiful Browning woodstock rifle, Monte Carlo woodstock rifle here. I did a review on this. This is such a beautiful rifle, and this thing shoots Sub-MOA any given day of the week. And this also have BDC Nikon Pro Step scope. So this is a little bit more expensive compared to Buckmaster. But I'm hoping Buckmaster will perform well as a Pro Step. Besides 243 is a low recoil, so I shouldn't really have any problem. But anyway, I had this rifle for almost 10 years, and this rifle shoots really well with Super Performance 95 grain SST bullet. And this thing comes out of barrel at 31.95 feet per second. No, it's 31.85 feet per second. So it's a very fast shooting ammunition. Now, one of my viewers just told me that SST bullet performs well in high velocity ammunition. So using SST bullet on my 300 Blackout was not a good choice for hunting. That was my fault. I should have done a little bit more research on it. But as for 300 Blackout, as you've seen it on the last video, for now, I'm gonna use it for target shooting and enjoy the rifle because it's very accurate rifle, but I'm not gonna be shooting any deers with it. It just doesn't make any sense until I find the more capable ammunition for that 300 Blackout. But anyway, I'm hoping this rifle here will shoot this Hornady as well as this rifle. The reason being is that I kind of told my wife I was done buying guns this year, but then when I saw this Browning AB3 at Buzz Gun Shop for $552 with the scope, and on a Black Friday they had a rebate from Browning, $100 rebate on the rifle. So the whole rifle with a scope only cost me $452. So this scope usually sells for about $150. So let's just say scope and the the ring here costs $172, just for the sake of easy calculation. That means I only paid $280 for the rifle. Now MSRP on this rifle is $599, so it's less than half price that I pay for this rifle. So I told my wife I have 30 boxes of this ammunition, which is worth about $1,000. But I'm not shooting this rifle that often because I want to kind of keep it nice and beautiful. And I really don't want to carry it into the woods. I shot 3 deers with this rifle, did very well with this ammunition. And so I told my wife I need something in 243 where I could carry into the woods and shoot it more often. That way I could use my ammunition and also enjoy hunting with a different rifle. So when this deal came up with rebate, I had to grab it and my wife agreed to it. So thank you, babe. So that was a nice bonus for me. So that's one of the main reasons why I went ahead and bought a Browning. But I mean, honestly, any Browning rifle that you could grab for $280, you know, you don't ask questions. You just go in and grab it. So I'm very happy with the purchase that I did. I just hope this thing will shoot well. And now I did some research, and it seems like people are shooting less than a half-inch Sub-MOA at 100 yards with AccuBond ammunition bullets on this rifle. But I'm not gonna buy any more, ammunition. So I'm gonna use what I have. And if I don't get Sub-MOA, I went ahead and bought a rim saver barrel stabilizer. And, I know this thing works. So if this does not produce Sub-MOA with Hornady Super Performance, I'm gonna go ahead and install the barrel stabilizer and try to narrow down my grouping. It's a good thing I checked the skull rings because to me this feels a little loose. You don't want to over tighten it, but then you also don't want to have it loose. So I'm just thinking about quarter turns on each screws here. I don't want to tighten it too tight. I don't want to strip anything, but just nice and tight. Okay, there we go. That should be good enough. Okay, wow. My trigger spring jar is already over. I'm gonna put the bolt back in and see how the trigger feels. Alright, here we go. Let's try. Oh wow, that really feels. That feels like about 2.5 pounds, really. Oh yeah. The trigger is really nice, and recoil is minimal, especially with this nice soft recoil pad. This is a 25 yard. That's the first 8 shot with AB bolt 243, and I'm still cleaning my bolts. So, all right, now I got the target at 50 yards. Oh yeah. Okay, I got the target out to 75 yards, and I'm still in the process of breaking in my barrel. Alright, let's see how she does at 75. Oh, bullseye. Okay, this is the last shot of breaking in my barrel, and then I'm gonna set it in with the Super Performance. Not bad. Alright, this is at 75 yards. That right there was at 25 yards, and then 50 yards. There's a last 3-shot group, and then at 75 yards, that was the last 2 shot. And I switched the ammunition to Super Performance, and that's where it went in. So I made a little adjustment So we are there now. So I'm done with barrel breaking in. I'm gonna reset it in with super performance and see the grouping at 75 first and then push it to 100. Alright, it's 75 yards with super performance already. Alright, 75 yards with super performance. The first shot was on the bullseye. Here was the second shot. Whew. That's tight. That's probably about less than half inch for sure. They're both in bullseye. Here goes the third shot at 75 yards. The first two shots are both in bullseye with a super performance. Yeah, here we go. I think I'm gonna pull down one. Damn it. Alright, I think I pulled a nice shot, so I'm gonna go for the fourth shot at 75. Oh yeah, they're all touching the bullseye. We are at 75 yards with a super performance. Let's see. That was my first shot, second shot, and then I pulled a third shot. So I went and took another shot. There's a fourth shot. So that's within an inch for sure. All right, here goes the first shot at 100 yards with the same super performance. Oh, that's sweet. There was the second shot. Oh yeah. Really tight.
Very good.
Oh man, I wish I could do my part because first two shots is really sweet. Alright, here we go. Pulled a little bit, but it's still an inch group. I might give it another shot. Alright, I'm not gonna take the last shot because I'm running out of time. They're calling for the ceasefire. But I'm pretty sure they're still Sub-MOA and first two shots, that's probably quarter inch grouping, so I am pumped. Happy. Shooting today, I am pumped. I am so happy. The Browning AB3 did not disappoint me, and I am super happy because it's shooting the super performance well as I was hoping. So here is that 100 yards. Okay, I know I put a last shot, but then they called for the ceasefire. So right there, that's my first shot and then second shot, and then I pulled that one, but you know, that's fine with me. And this is my lithium AR10 6.5 creedmoor at 100. So they're all shooting beautifully. And that's my Thompson Center compass. Yeah, man, good deal. In December, rifle range closes at 5. So I ran out of time to get my last fourth shot off. But again, I still got my 3-shot group at 100 yards, so I was happy with that. And it was a very decent group. Now, I know I put the last shot just a little bit, but again, you know, I don't know why it is, but every time I make 2 good shots and the third shot, I get very nervous. And as soon as I pull the trigger, I kind of know in my head that I pulled it. And funny thing is, when I take the fourth shot and when I have less pressure, I seem to do better. So when you see my videos, you see me pulling the third shot a lot and then taking the fourth shot and then getting the kind of group that I'm looking for. But yes, I was pretty cold. So when I was shooting this rifle and breaking it in, I was like shooting it cleaning my barrel at first 10 shots, and then every 3 shots I was cleaning my barrel. But I was shooting pretty fast, so barrel was constantly pretty hot. So if you see it from 50 yards to 75 yards, you could see the grouping was pretty wide. And after I was done breaking in, then that's when I started taking turns with my Thompson center compass and the Leaf-Free Armory 6.5 creedmoor. And the reason for that was because I switched the scope in those 2 rifles. I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, so I took turns with 3 rifles. I was giving proper time for all rifles to cool. So that's when the grouping started really narrowing down. And all of them shot very well. And especially with this AB3, Browning didn't disappoint me. It was very sweet. And I'm sure this thing will shoot better as I shoot more. Okay, here are the 2 final targets from yesterday after breaking in my barrel. At 75 yards, that was my first shot. And then that's my second shot. Happy, happy, happy. And then I pulled the 3rd shot. So I took the 4th shot and I'm happy again. So if we count all 4 shots, we're looking at 1 inch and 1/8 of an inch. So it's still a decent 4-shot group. And then if you just count the 3-shot group, we're looking at about 1/2 inch group. Super happy at 75. And then I push out to 100 yards. And first 2 shots, that was my first shot. That was my second shot. Again, super happy here. And that's only about a 1/4 inch group. And then I pulled again. So if you count the one that I pull, it's just a hair over 1 inch. And I want to go for the 4th shot, but again, it was ceasefire, so I couldn't take the 4th shot. Now, one thing that I still don't like about this rifle is that cheap plastic trigger. It makes the whole rifle feel like it's as if it was a toy. I don't know why they just couldn't, throw in even a cheap metal in there. But after changing the spring on this trigger, this turned out to be really a sweet shooter. So I'm not really complaining. And I will be uploading the video on how to change the spring on this trigger. But lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got. But mostly, Merry Christmas. And remember, Jesus came to save us, not to judge us. See ya.